episode of Polite as Fuck with your two hosts here, hanging in there, you know, as a typical Wednesday. We're diving right into it, 10 and 10. You know us and our tattoos, our tattoo game. So we're talking about our tattoos. My first one is my mermaid back tattoo. I really want to get this covered up. So me and Anais want to do like a mermaid.
That's cute. I didn't know that.
And it's going to have to be like pretty large in order to cover that up. So, yeah.
Are you guys going to do that?
Yeah, we really want to, yeah. We've been like putting it off, obviously, because it's fucking expensive. But we talk about it all the time.
Oh my gosh, that's so cute. I love that idea.
It's crazy that my first tattoo is a cover up. The first thing on my thing, I'm like, cover that up.
Well, my first one, I don't know what it is. We got the postage stamp, and I would like to do a flattened penny. You know how you used to be able to like
that's so cute.
Where
do you get these ideas? Oh my god, I love that.
Thanks. Well, I collected flattened pennies and I kept them all in my wallet, and then my wallet was stolen. So why not get the permanent one on my body?
Forever of have to.
That's my, like, if I was to get a tattoo right now, that's what I would get.
That's cute.
Thanks.
My next one is just finishing the half sleeve of just like, I don't know, flowers and, you know, butterflies and insects. She said like a beetle, and like obviously I don't give a fuck about beetles, but I'm like, that would look so cool like in this like little crevice area.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
I think especially the like American traditional is if you did that style beetle, but that might not actually go with
I don't know if that'll go with this style, but yeah, so that.
Cute. I am still on my outdoor places that mean things to me, and my sister has on her hip an outline of Tahoe.
Oh, cool.
I would like to do something with Tahoe. Yeah. I don't know what that is. Maybe just an outline of the lake, because that's cute, and I know what that is. Yeah. I feel like coordinates, I don't know what that is.
Yeah. And it's so like recognizable and identifiable that if like you had it, people would be able to be like, oh, I know what that lake is. Like, if you know, you know.
How do you feel about color?
I like color. I think I just haven't done it because I, like, started off, I don't know, you know. I just, yeah.
Yeah, I think if I was to get more, like, fill my forearm or something, I like a red.
Oh, like red ink. Red, I love that. Yeah. I've looked at blue before. Ooh. So it's like that porcelain kind of, like the dress.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cute.
Yeah.
Okay.
I should have added that. My next one was the dogs. When I was on my, like, going through Pinterest a while ago, I saw this cute tattoo of this, like, opened heart locket. So it was, like, one heart and then another heart. Cute. And then, like, two dog outlines on the inside. And I would maybe just do, like, you know, for a while how, like, those things were popping up on Instagram of, like one-lined things. I don't really know how else to describe it, but maybe just, like, an outline of the dogs, because I feel like Luna's ears are a little lopsided, and Bash has, like, very distinct, like, ear, like, you know, perk up little face. So something like that I think would be really cute.
What did they think of their new toys?
Oh, they love them. Luna's brought it in your room. That's where she is right now with her seahorse. And then the crab is here with Ash.
That's so cute. Okay, sticking with random things. I wish I would have taken a photo of the tarot cards when we did that night with Haley.
Ooh.
Just so I could, like, remember what the designs on them were. But I feel like a tarot card of some type would be cool, because they have really
hers, I do remember seeing hers and being like, this is a really cool deck.
What did I do? Was I the Casey?
No, I think you were the other one. I think everybody else was
the other one?
It was like that gothic but not really, I don't know.
I don't remember.
Wow.
But
we could also easily figure it out.
If you want to go watch Haley's episode, quick plug, she also was on the podcast.
That's cute. Do you know which one you would do? Like one that was pulled then?
I feel like, I would like to see the designs again. Or I could just go get, like, my tarot cards read, and if one of them I think is cool, then
you're like, that one. The one. It's like death, and you're like, that looks really cool, I'll get that.
Honestly, though, the death ones are kind of...
I know. Yeah. I forget that painting that Isabella did for my room, that mermaid is like Ace of Cups or something like that, and I forget what that means.
Oh, yeah, that is a tarot card.
Yeah, I just gotta like figure it out. The next one, I'm obsessed with stomach tattoos. Like, even like I do like the rib cage one, but I mean like a stomach like lower somehow, like making that work I think would be really awesome. It's just the concept of like, when I was young and I thought of tattoos, I was like, this is gonna last forever, and they do. But now that I'm older and like I just have I understand the way tattoos work and like the kind of line work a little bit and spacing between and what you ask for and why like an artist matters so much, is like how deep all of these things that I'm like, do I want to risk something bleeding and stretching? You know, like I fluctuate in weight as time gets older. As I get an older woman, I'm going to gain weight. That's just what's going to happen. That I'm like, do I want to risk an already like sensitive part to like,
I feel like that
look
would hurt so bad.
I'm like, the pain doesn't, I don't give a fuck about the pain. I'm just like, you know, is this going to be, because then if I don't like it, am I going to spend money to laser it off? Talk
Oh
about
my
fucking
gosh.
pain.
Yeah, that would be horrible.
So I think that's only when I see them, and I see them on like guys and girls, and I'm just like, that is so cute. And you look so confident. Like you just like want your clothes off so you can show off this piece of work.
I really want to see what you have seen, because for some reason the only picture in my mind is like
Around the belly
pot
button.
belly like guy with like a giant shark mouth.
Can you imagine if I came home and I was like, I did it! I did it!
Like, where's the hot ones? Because I can't picture it right now.
Like, let me just show you, like, just some of these.
Oh, yeah, I like that. Okay.
Like this. I know that's a little higher up, but like that
No,
is just like,
yeah, that's hot.
where it kind of mimics, or like almost however you say.
Accentuate?
Yeah, thank you. Can't even still don't understand. Need to see it written down. Of like your hourglass shape.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
something like that.
I like
Not
that.
a pot belly, like using the belly button as some sort of like joke. Oh my god, that's hilarious.
Well, speaking of placements, I would also love, if I was to ever be so bold to get like a giant back tattoo. I keep seeing this one on Pinterest. This girl, it could just be her. I'm like, this looks so good on
Yeah, I
you.
know. Sometimes I'm like, do I just like you? I'm confused.
It's like a giant, it's this really cool vase with like all these flowers coming out of it, and it takes up her whole back, and it,
Do you have a picture?
let me see if I can find it. I would like to it's the first thing.
Oh my god, yeah. It just makes you feel
yeah.
so confident. Like you're like, I'm hot. Look at this.
I know. I actually that's so funny because I look at it so
Oh
often.
my god, it's just right there. No, that's awesome. I love that.
I really like it, and I don't know that I would ever do that, but it is really cool.
Yeah. My last one is, I was looking at ideas on what to do if I wanted to like add something around the pufferfish, and I thought like little seashells, like with the same kind of design, or make it a little bit more, I don't know, pop that area a little bit more. So
Yeah, cute. I like sea ideas.
Yeah.
My last one, I really don't give a fuck what anyone thinks of this little finger tattoo, but I do love a butterfly.
Yeah.
And I would maybe want to get like something more detailed of one somewhere, like maybe on my arm, since I've decided to do this now.
you're just who I am. Dude,
I was
once you
like,
get
I'm
one,
only gonna stick to this region, and then he was like, it would look cool here, and I'm like, yep.
yeah, it
Let's
does
do
look
it.
awesome though.
Thanks. I really do love it.
I know. I'd be interested to see what what his vision is for like what he meant by that.
Yeah, to fix the butterfly. I get it. Like, I know what it is because I picked it out. But I do, when I see more, even like hand tattoos with butterflies on them, where it's like the full, like the body and then the wings on each side. I'm like, yeah, you can clearly tell that's a butterfly. And it kind of looks, this was going off of the line design thing that you were wanting to do with the dogs. And I think it's just such a small space that it might have looked or been clearer if it was a little bigger.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I'm telling you, tattoos. Anyway, love them.
Love them. Yeah, I would do, I like a thigh tattoo. I think those are hot. I like the, like, sternum, under boob area. So great. Hope everyone
With all the money that we have, we will be getting these at some point, I'm sure.
Yeah, after my windshield wipers flew off and I had to spend what was supposed to be a $10 car wash turned into like a $60 thing. I was like, sick.
Oh my god, that's so funny though.
So bad. I was like, this is kidding.
Well, guys, the sun is out and the crazy is out, and
Yep.
I think Erica and I have been reminded a lot recently on just the state of our mental health and therapy, why like that's necessary not only for us but maybe for others.
This is why everyone needs therapy.
Yeah. And so we thought we would talk about that today because I also want to preface that I still have not gone to therapy. It's just, like finding a therapist is all of those, like, it's just difficult. So I, take this with like a pinch of salt because I'm just like,
oh, wow, a pinch of salt.
that's like that is so annoying that I said that because that is like what the English people say. Sometimes I'm like, I'm going to cut this out when I edit this, but sometimes I'm like, I say things because I've lived or experienced like different, don't want to say culture because they're all fucking white, but it's like, I say myself saying things like that a lot and I'm like, ew, get out of my vocabulary.
I thought it was cute.
Anyway, yeah.
A pinch of salt.
Salt. What's the actual saying? What do we say? A grain of salt.
A grain of sand?
No. What is the saying though? I think it is a pinch of salt.
I feel like I've take it with a grain of sand.
Grain of sand? That's not right. Take it with the grain of sand. Go eat your sand. You. One grain.
A grain of salt doesn't make sense though.
I know.
I think it's a grain of sand.
I don't think that's right.
I don't know.
Anyway, let us know what you think. I forget what I was saying with all of this. This is why I need therapy.
I feel like you've been doing really well. I just gotta say. I feel like you were like, I need therapy. And then suddenly you
became my own therapist.
You're just so on it and doing so well. And I'm like, I'm very inspired, but I'm like, why? I need to figure out what's going on with my brain. Because
I think I just like, okay, so when I think about this, like I kind of broke it up into like 3 categories when I, not only like myself, but in other people on just like why therapy is important. First of all, of just like having someone to talk to outside of like someone that knows you and cares for you and has that like love for you, I think is really important. Also someone that can kind of validate your feelings when I think family or friends can't really do that. Mm-hmm. So with that being said, I was thinking like, okay, relationships, whether it's like platonic or romantic, like those are its own thing. And then you have like your family or childhood experiences, like how you grew up, and then like for me specifically, I mean for everyone too, is yourself, like how you view yourself, or like maybe what's like your own mental dialogue. So that's kind of how I broke it up in my mind. But I think to your point of like, I appreciate you saying that I've been doing so good. I don't think I have, because I think I do like really good for like 4 days, and then I am like, oh, I need a break, and then I like fall off and kind of dip down, and then I feel like there's no consistency, which I think is why therapy is important, and probably why I need it.
Well, funny you should say that, because my nutritionist, who I've seen twice now, we had met the first time, and then this most recent time we met again, and I said something very similar to what you just said. I was like, well, I feel like I was doing good for like a few days, and then I like kind of fell off, and then I've been trying to like figure it out again. And she said this the first time we met, and she said it again, and now I'm like, it is true. Like people a lot of times think of progress as like an elevator, that you're just gonna go up, and if you like go back down, you can't, like, and it's just. She's like, that's not how it works. And we've talked about it before, like the waves or the mountains that like ebbs and flows, and it's like progress is never linear. It's never going to be that way. And like hearing you say that, I'm like, Ellie, come on, you know that. But then I'm like, I do the same thing. I literally just did it on the call with her, and she was like, but you also did these things, and like look at where you were 2 weeks ago till now, and even if you go back to that place again, it's like we're gonna continue to work on it. And I'm like, you're right. It's just hard.
It's so hard. And I think that's where I'm like, it's just been difficult for me to find the time to get a therapist. So I've been really trying to like remind myself. I think also for me, and I think you can relate, but I'm the kind of person where like I'm not going to do anything no matter how many times I can sit here and say it, but like I'm not going to do anything like until something snaps. Like there's going to be a moment, I don't know what it is, but all of a sudden I'm just like, nope. And that it makes no sense. Like there's no rhyme or reason to what that snap is. It could be dealing with like literally anything in my life. Like for example, I will just be like saying like, oh, I'm not going to drink, or I'm going to take a break from drinking. I'm going to take a break from drinking, but like not really saying it, like knowing that I want to, but it's just like not really aligning until like all of a sudden something happens. Like it wasn't really anything that happened. I just woke up and I was like, no, today's the day. I'm pretty sure it was like a random day. You know how sometimes you're like, no, Monday's when I'm going to start. It was like fully not a Monday. Pretty sure it was a Wednesday. And it was like, you know what I mean? And so I think that
It's like hit that point.
I've hit that point. I mean, we'll see how long that lasts. So it's like, I have that mentality right now, but I think again, to the point of like an actual therapist of just like having that additional support is always really helpful.
I think a lot of times too, what a therapist does is tell you things that you really already know, but it's like coming from someone else that, to your point, is like not someone that like loves and cares about you. You don't ever see them outside of that 1 hour that you meet every 2 weeks or whatever, and it's like a good reminder of, okay, yes, I do know these things. Just hearing it back to yourself. I was talking to this lady at the gym yesterday who, she's not a therapist, but I was telling her, she asked like what's new in my life because I hadn't seen her in classes in a while, and I was like, well, I'm just trying to figure out grad school. And hearing her say back things that I had already said to myself when I was considering going to grad school, I was like, yeah, I did know that actually, and like, yeah, I was thinking that way. I don't know why I like have suddenly spiraled into this other side of things, but it was very grounding to be like, oh wait, that was my initial thought anyway, and just in making this decision, and why did I like forget that? I think therapy or just talking to someone that's like not close to you helps you like realign your perspective to be able to like continue making steps, because you can easily just fall into the mud or be just like spinning in that spin zone of like not making forward progress because you're second guessing or you think it's the wrong decision or whatever it is. Like I think another bucket for me would be like purpose. Like
Ooh.
I need to have like
I hate that.
like if I don't feel like I have like a purpose to get up in the morning, it's really hard for me, and it's been that way because it's like, yes, I have a job, that's obviously like an obligation. I have like shit I need to get done just as like a human being, but it doesn't feel like I necessarily have a purpose. I'm not like contributing in any way to the world. It feels like to like people in my life. I'm like, what is the point? That's where I'm sitting at right now, and I feel like that's why I went to therapy originally, because I was in such a deep dark place in that like thinking that it was just not okay. But I think I need to like refine that again, and having someone kind of talk through your thoughts with you is helpful.
Yeah. I like relate to the purpose thing so much, but I also think for such a long time I've just lived in the, I don't know, right now, God, it's so hard. I just think like what I'm trying to say is like not to be super like dark, but it's like I've been at the lowest point, and I feel like at that point my purpose was like, I'm not giving up or stopping my forward motion in life because like I care about like what my like family thinks, and that was enough for me to like carry on. And so now I've just kind of been like, especially now in my like lows of like job and career and purpose and things like that, like I don't, that's not even in my mind or in my forethought like right now, because it's just like, all right, well, this is my life. Like I literally have to be like, this is where I'm at in life right now. I have not dedicated to changing anything else. Like I can't even dedicate to finding a therapist. So with that being said, what can I do in spite of that, I guess? And so it's like, I can't even, so I relate to that, but even hearing you say that, I'm like, I have to push that. Again, maybe why I need therapy, but like I have to push that so far down, or else I am gonna just like spiral and just be like, what? Why? What is the point?
I don't know. I mean, I think that's okay. I feel like this is kind of also a little bit why I wanted to talk about it, because it's like my purpose in going, or like what I need out of therapy right now is different than that. Like I feel like that is kind of where I'm in this like weird little like lull in my life of not really sure what my purpose is. But I do think coming out of the relationship I was just in, I'm having a lot of like feelings, realizations, just like thoughts going through my mind. And I feel like that's where I want to focus on, is like, I'm totally fine being by myself. We've talked about it before. I'd rather be alone than be in an unhealthy relationship. But I also really love love. And I really would love a partnership. And I'm kind of tired. I'm like, yes, I know 29 is still young, but I'm also so annoyed that I feel like I'm back to the starting point again, when I feel like I had done all that work. And it's weird because getting out of the relationship, I'm like, some of the things that I was so averse to in it and just like I hated, I'm like, wait, no, I was fine with that. I think it was more being told that that's how I needed to feel or think. And it's like, what I need to work through what that is, because I hate being told what to do. I hate
Really? No way.
I hate someone telling me how I have to think or feel or live. Like I will immediately reject it or do the opposite. And I obviously that stems a lot from like religion, and I think there's a lot that I already am aware of. But it's also like I feel like maybe I started some fights or some things in that relationship simply because I didn't know how to navigate communicating how I was feeling, or like what I was feeling with those pressures put on me. And if I ever am to like get into an actual relationship again, I can't keep doing this like song and dance.
Like what? As in what? Like as in like like do you feel like you're just looking for someone or something like different, or
I don't even think that it's that. And I don't think that I'm actually like looking for something right now. I feel like I'm in this place where I'm just questioning what all is the work that I did prior to getting into that relationship. Like there was validity to it, but right now I'm questioning a lot of it. And like, okay, for example, us watching Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. You made the comment of like, couldn't it be me? But like seeing them, like the two friends pregnant at the same time. Not that I'm like, I want to get pregnant. That's not what I'm feeling. But I was like getting emotional because I was like,
oh shit. And I'm over there like,
no, but I was like, that's so like sweet that they get to like go through that experience together. And like, if I was to ever do that, it would be awesome to like not feel alone in that. And it's just a jumble of thoughts going through my mind. I don't know.
Yeah. I feel very similar though as well. Like, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, if I didn't have that thought as well, I just am also like, I can just see down the road and like happiness in their lives. So not only did I see that, but it was just like, wow, they're really just about to raise, you know what I mean?
No,
and like,
I
guess I shouldn't have, like, I realized I just like flipped off the camera when talking about that. And that was like so bad, but I'm just like, in my mind, it's just like more towards that life, and I don't necessarily want it, but I do think that there's a part of me that's like, if the stars were aligned with the right person and like, of course, like that would be awesome if like you and I were able to do that, or like me and Anais, like that would be like a dream of like that could happen, you know? But it's like right now in that life and what my life is, I'm like, man, that was what I was flipping off to stay.
Yeah.
But I think for me, I'm just having a hard time because I want to be open. And I was telling Erica a few days ago, or yesterday it might have been, of like, I am so aware of how single I've been that it's like hurts sometimes.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, wow, I've done all of this work, and I feel like I have, and I know like what I'm attracted to now when it comes to a partner is so far away from what I've ever been attracted to. So I am like, it would be really nice to have an opportunity to kind of like practice. I don't want to view it as that, but sometimes like that is like what dating is.
Mm-hmm.
I think about it for like a little bit, or I get close to someone and all of a sudden like every single boundary, I've said this before, every single boundary just like disappears, or I start believing that the person that I'm with will fix these other parts of me that I feel like are broken. I don't know, it's just like this weird entanglement of like my self-confidence and self-worth. And like once I feel, and it's hard even though you just made that point about progress, but it's like some days I feel like I've taken 10 steps forward when it comes to like self-confidence and self-worth and my like inner dialogue of just like, you're great. Ugh. And then other times it's like I don't feel that way, and it's like I have a hard time navigating like dating and love right now in the world, because it feels like everything and everyone is like, you're not going to find love unless you love yourself and yada yada, and it's like I believe that, but then it's like, then am I ever? Because I don't, and it's not coming, and sometimes I do and sometimes I don't. I don't know, it's just like this weird thing. And so it's like sometimes I feel like I have it together, but then I'm also like, am I just utilizing like going to the gym and walking the dogs and going to the beach in the morning? I don't know, it's like as a band-aid, not saying that those things are bad, but all right, I need to stop before I spiral. But you see my point.
I do see your point, and I feel like I was always touting like, you need to love yourself first, when hypocritically I'm like self-loathing in the bathroom. But I feel like it's the intentionality of like wanting to feel that way, or like putting in the work to feel that way. And it's not, I don't think that you need to be like a perfectly whole sound person in order to have love or have a relationship. That's what I've come to, because I'm like, I feel like I've been in that place before, and then I've gotten in a relationship and I've lost myself in that. And like, I also feel like I've been the opposite, where I feel like I'm making progress or doing things, but I don't feel like I'm in like this such a secure, sound place, and someone else has like helped push me forward in that. So I don't think that it has to be like, she's so confident and so happy with her life and all of these things. It's more of like the general, like, you're not just not doing anything about it. You're not just like, nah, trying.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think relationships are a big one. And with that, the like kid conversation always, because even the woman at the gym who was talking to me, she was like, why are you wanting to have kids? And I'm like, why does everyone ask this question? And I get it, because it's like you're at the age where you kind of are like, you only have so many more years to make that decision. But she was coming at it of like, well, yeah, if you do want kids, it makes sense to go to grad school, and then you'd be finished in a few years and you could start your practice, and like this job would allow you to be at home with kids if you wanted to do that. And I think that like there was a part of me in making that decision for grad school that did think about that, of like, if I do end up deciding, and not even maybe not having kids, but like I've really considered like being a foster parent or other avenues to like having children in my life, or even like being an aunt.
Yeah.
To have the time to like go hang out with my siblings' kids would be awesome.
Yeah.
Like that was a good reminder for me. But I don't know if we should get into this. Another part that why I need therapy and why I think the whole world does, because this is coming out, what did we say? Oof. Right before the 4th?
Yeah.
And the fact that we were just watching TV and I'm like, oh, we're literally in the war now. Like,
really?
I feel such despair, and like I know that I am so blessed and privileged to live in the United States, but my God, what is going on?
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck?
Yeah. I don't... Hopeless. Yeah. Hopeless. Sad. Scared. Confused. Mad.
Yeah.
And then also just, like, so... like, not knowing. Like, I hate not knowing, like, what the fuck is going on, and I hate that every day is like a panic on what I'm gonna find. Even when I walk outside, of like who I'm gonna run into, what I'm gonna see, like down the road, you know, like not only is this going on outside, but we have like ice knocking. It's just, it's wild, and it's, and then it's like literally making the joke of like, okay, like, ha ha ha, go back to watching our show. And it's like, really, that's like everybody, but then at the end of the, it's like we hear that we're watching our show, but it's like we're not there anymore, like our minds are elsewhere, and now we have to like, it's like, it's really tough, and like navigating that in the world. And kind of we spoke on last episode some of like our deal breakers, and I talked about like human rights and trying not to get like political, and like I like fuck that, like I am not about to enter in a lifelong committed relationship with someone who doesn't agree with what I have to say. And I know that that is like difficult, and I think we're past the time of like this like healthy debate when it comes to like human lives, children. I am confused at why that is,
why is it even a
necessary. Yeah, and so it's tough and like mentally exhausting. On top of like, you can't, your own like serotonin and dopamine levels are so low that you can't even get up some days. Like, what the fuck?
I know. And I feel like I've thought about this a lot growing up. And when you mentioned this in one of the previous episodes of like, well, there's like starving children, and so like you need to, I don't even remember what the context was, but like that is definitely a thought process that I've had in my life before. And it's like, maybe helpful, but also really not. And I think right now I'm like literally safe and sound in San Diego. We're not being bombed, not like fearing for my life. My family is okay. Like I don't have all of these things to worry about that a lot of people elsewhere do. So why am I feeling like such despair and feeling like there's no hope? It just makes me then get hard on myself of like, okay, well, what can you do? And I feel like I need to be doing everything, and I'm...
Yeah, it's so overwhelming. It's so overwhelming. On top of just like, I think so many people can relate to all of these things. Like we were just talking, like it's so relatable on how hard it is. So we have like that's going on. It's just, and I hate roping in, but it's like we're also like trying to figure out our career and like whether or not we're gonna be able to like make our bills. You got a fucking mortgage to pay. Like there's that. There's, you know, you have a, you know, career, a job. Like I have dogs. Like it's just like it has a very quick and sneaky way of jumping out at you at the worst possible moments. And sometimes I feel like I don't have the right like tools in order to like not spiral or not, like sometimes I get so like I'll just get so debilitated that I can't do anything. Like, so speaking like on just kind of what's going on in the world, like being pulled in so many different directions and like kind of just feeling left with nothing. Like I have to go to work, but I wanted to go to the protest, and like it was like this back and forth spiral that I ended up feeling just like exhausted of, and like feeling that way all of the time. And then it's like, I only have X amount of money, but like I want to sign this thing and I want to be aware of this and this. And then it's like, it is just a lot. And I know you basically just said that, but it's a lot.
But I'm glad you mentioned like the tools piece, because I already am like, here I am spiraling again. And it's like, this is why I need to go to therapy. And I have been going to therapy. I think I'm trying to find a new one. I think I need some different perspective. I need help in different areas. I need different tools than like what I've been getting. And I feel like that's also kind of what you've been saying. It's like, it's exhausting to find a person that you are willing to open up to about all the things in your life and like be receptive to what they have to say and how they have to say it. It's like, it's hard because you're being vulnerable, you're paying for it, you're wanting to make sure like it's not going to be an instant fix. That's not a thing. So you like kind of already know you're going to have to go a lot and you're going to have to do your own work, and it's like that in and of itself can be exhausting. But I just think about even going back home recently.
Yeah.
Like for myself, I'm like, why am I reverting to my like 16-year-old behavior? Why is it when my parents are upsetting me, I like am like, don't even say anything, I just go to bed. I'm like, where's the Erica that's like, we need communication? I'm like, like, what's going on? And then I'm like, everyone in this family needs therapy. And I'm getting on my high horse when I'm like, girl, practice what you preach, because I'm acting like a freaking fool right now. And it's hard for anyone to navigate that when they're like walking on eggshells around me because I'm upset. I don't know. It's like, I feel like the best way to lead is by example. And I've been doing that from afar, but it's hard when I clearly don't have the tools in place enough to be able to do it in person.
Yeah. And I think if I've learned anything from like going to school, especially for like social work and things like that, it's like you really cannot take care of anyone else if you are not taken care of. And I think like alongside of the same conversation of like purpose and career and a lot of the things that have been going back and forth in my mind is I find myself thinking of like, did I make the right decision leaving the job with kids? Because I did feel a sense of purpose and felt that my family was proud of what I was doing because it was a full-time job and it had that kind of like merit, I guess, you know? At the same time, I think of all of the things that I've learned about myself since having that job. And it's like, I mean, obviously it's, you know, life and in and out, and I'm still in my 20s, so I still have like so many things to learn, but I do feel like I've done a lot of like, not even work, but just like the same kind of thing when I was talking about like my mental like self-talk, like it's just changed. Like I really did just like wake up and I found myself so much easier to make that snap decision of like, no, I am gonna work out today. I am gonna take the dogs out more than twice or whatever it is. Like I don't know if I had the like mental capacity to do that within that job. That's not to say I'm not going to go back to that, but I go back and forth between like leaving that because I fear that I won't be able to take care of myself. And I know that if I'm not taken care of, then I can't, like I think of all of the extra things that I'm able to do now, you know, of listen to podcasts and read articles about what's going on in the world and kind of be invested and kind of be able to take a strong stance because I know what the fuck I'm talking about, or make time and build friendships, like something that's been on my like, you know, mind for a long time, why I wanted to move to San Diego, you know, and I felt like I wasn't doing that before. And I think I'm like taking the steps to doing that, X, Y, and Z. So I guess my point is like balance, but also like you said, you can't take care of others and like the world, not that that is your job, but kind of it is your job, you know, if you are not taking care of yourself. And you as in you, Ellie, when you're editing this, like you sometimes need, like you said, that additional like support from a therapist. You also real quick brought up something that I wanted to say of like something that I found like why I kind of broke up with my therapist that I had here in San Diego, and something that I'm looking for is I have a really like easy time being like you know, like the term like vulnerability hangover, of like I can sit down and all of a sudden like someone will create a really open moment and I feel the need to like tell them everything, and all of a sudden I'm just dropping like truth bomb after truth bomb after truth bomb, and then I feel like oh my God, like, why did I say that? And then I approach that next person a little reserved because I'm just like, I just came out. I just like said all of this a lot. So I'm looking for someone where every week, every time that I show up, I feel like I can be my most vulnerable self. But also, I don't want to leave hungover. Like, I don't want to leave feeling like, oh my God, like, why did I just say that? Like, I need to be vulnerable, and then I need you to immediately validate all of the things that I just said, because I have a hard time doing that, and I think it makes me, like, inconsistent with some relationships in my life, because one moment I'm like, oh my God, this is all going on, truth bomb after truth bomb, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, hey, from afar, like, I don't know if we're friends now because I just, like, said everything that happened that was wrong with my life.
Yeah, I get that. I feel like an issue I've been having in therapy recently, too, is my own, like, getting in my own way of putting on this, like, facade. And I'm like, for what? I'm paying you.
Yeah.
I'm literally paying you. And
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, like, I'm just struggling with a few things. We can talk about them. And then it feels like I'm not really actually being, like, going deep with it because I don't want to get to that point of that, like, vulnerability hangover or feeling just, like, exhausted. But I also feel like the times I've had the most growth in therapy is when I'm taking time beforehand and, like, prepping my thoughts and, like, going in there with, like, what is it that I want to talk about, and I'm leaving, like, a little bit exhausted almost, but because it's like I did this work.
That's true.
And not necessarily like a vulnerability hangover as much as it is like, wow, that was like a lot that I just like had to process, and it was like worth the time and the investment because I actually made it so, instead of like, oh, I'm showing up 5 minutes late because I just left a work meeting. I don't really know what I want to talk to you about today. We're just catching up. I'm like putting on this friendly face, you know, to like hang out with you. And then I'm going to go home. And then I'm like, wow, what was the point of that? There was none.
Yeah.
Did you have anything else you want to say?
No, I just like, I don't know. It's tough. Thank God, like, the sun is out. I think that has like been helpful. It's tough to navigate the world. There's so many things that I want to focus on, but also that it's such a slippery slope that I can like easily spiral if I think too long. So I'm just trying to take like step by step. And I think that is something that I've struggled on, of just like not even just having a goal for the week session, but like what my like ultimate goal for therapy is. And I think I'm still trying to figure that out and have that so that I have that kind of ready for when I do find like someone that I'm willing to like sit down and like start this like therapy relationship with. Because sometimes it's tough like finding a goal, and sometimes I'm like, it's not like something traumatic has happened. It's not like I need help getting over someone's like death or that like I was just broken up with. I think it's like a combination of a lot of things, and it's like, okay, Ellie, what is it that you want to maybe get out of that, and like have specific things. And I don't know, maybe that's some homework that I can do, is like journal that out or something.
I have a lot of journaling I need to do as well.
I think back to that episode that we just did, and I'm like, a little journal prompt isn't gonna help me, and I hear myself say it over and over and over again. But sometimes I need it.
It does. It is not gonna fix you maybe, but it is helpful.
Yeah.
I think all the little things do help in the long run. But yeah, if that was insightful at all, I need therapy. I think we all probably do. And I think if you notice areas of your life where you're feeling like you struggle, and maybe it's not obvious to you, like why it is you're struggling with that, I think sometimes therapy can help you unpack that and kind of get to the root cause, because it might be other things you're not even thinking of or realizing in your life. But it's tough out there, but it is summer. Happy summer, and hopefully your mental can match the vibes outside and you can have a good time.
Spicy summer, babes.
Spicy summer. I love it. Apply to Spec Podcast, wherever you get your podcasts, and we'll see you next week.
See you next week.
Bye.